And let's settle for the details now. It was meant to be severe punishment for paging pro-government vigilante group, the so-called Delta Forces, when 13 of them reappeared before court for the judge attacking staff and escaping lawful custody last week. Their colleagues entered the court while it was in session, threatened the judge and freed them from prosecution, but fines of just 2,400 Ghana cedis imposed on them for the escape appears too lenient and may not deter them from repeating their attacks. Well, this is not my view. It is the view of governance expert Dr. Odro Osai, who join us shortly for a conversation on this. But let's go to Kumasi and get an update on the proceedings in court today. Mohammed Nuruddin joins me on the telephone. Hello, Mohammed. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Okay, so take us through proceedings today when the 13 members of the group appeared before the judge.
Well, Gifty, what happened is that the 13 members appeared in court today and they were found guilty to a charge of escaping from lawful custody. The accused person's lawyer pleaded that they are first-time offenders, and even after they escaped from the court, they turned themselves in. And so the judge, his lordship, a commencer, granted the plea of the lawyer, and so they were sentenced in respect of the offense of escaping lawful custody. The 13 accused, as I speak now, have therefore been fined 200 penalty units, which means that each of them would be paying 2,400 Ghana cedis as the punishment.
Hello, Nuruddin. If you can hear me, can you reposition? Because it's very difficult for me to hear you right now.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now. If you could just quickly recap what you said.
Yeah, what I said was that the accused persons, 13 of them, appeared in court today and they were found guilty to a charge of escape study. So the accused person's lawyer pleaded that they are first-time offenders, and even after they have escaped from the court, they themselves in. So the judge, his lordship, the commencer, granted the plea of the lawyer, and so they were sentenced in respect of the offense of escaping from lawful custody. So the 13 people were therefore fined 200 penalty units, which means that each of them would be paying 2,400 Ghana cedis,
right,
as punishment.
What was the security? I mean, in the pictures that we have right now, we see armed security personnel. If you can give us, paint to us the bigger picture of what the security outlook was in court today.
As compared to what happened a few days ago, I can say that there were a lot of armed security personnel at the court. They even stationed their vehicles at one of the entrances to make sure nothing bad was going to happen at the court. And so everything was okay at the court. The proceeding went on well. And so today, in fact, I would say that everything went very well at the court.
I see. What was the mood of the 13? These people, you know, they were arrested, they jumped bail, they turned themselves in. Today they've been told that they're going to have to pay 2,400 cedis. What was their mood after the ruling?
In court, they showed remorse in court, and if you look at them very well, you realize that they regretted their own actions. And so when I interviewed the lawyer, he also indicated that they are very sure they are not going to engage themselves in such a similar act. And that was why the judge asked them to sign a bond of good behavior for 6 months. This means that within the next 6 months, if they are found in any criminal act or any disturbances, they will be prosecuted by the court. And so they will be made to sign the bond, and they will be made to also pay the fine. And I'm told that we've been told that if they are not able to pay the fine, the 2,400 Ghana cedis each, they will be jailed for 3 years.
Let's talk about their family members. Yesterday, Rastus reported that some of them were there and they were in tears. Were they there today? And I'm sure that if they were in tears today that there's a ruling that if they're able to pay $2,400, they'll get to go home free, then they probably were happy.
Well, there were a lot of people at the court. There were people came for different issues. So we couldn't be able to know whether family. Actually, there were people there who came to witness the case, and so I personally didn't support any family member. But I cannot say that none of them came to sympathize with them, because there are a lot of people, and
so
you could see that everybody was interested in the case, and we were, more interested in the gathering of our information. So for that, I can't say whether there were family members there or not. The place was very serene. It wasn't so much chaos like.
Okay, Nuruddin, will you are you privy to the reason why the judge gave this ruling? What did the judge explain why she, ended up with this decision?
Well, like I said, the lawyers of the suspect, the accused persons, argue that they are first-time offenders, and so the judge should temper justice with mercy. And so he also argued that even when they escaped from the court, they turned themselves in. So it wasn't the police who went for them. They willingly came to the police to surrender. So the judge should look at those two issues, among others, and temper justice with mercy.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Mahmoud Mohammed Nuruddin there in Kumasi, corresponding for us on that issue there. Well, on the streets and on social media, not many Ghanaians seem to be enthused about this ruling. They believe that justice has not been duly served, considering the extent of destruction that the Delta Forces group caused at the offices of the security coordinator and the manner in which they attacked the law court. Those views are also shared by the governance expert, Dr. Odrosai, who we're expecting to join us shortly. A bit of a background to this development, by the way. Well, before our conversation, President Akufo-Addo used the occasion of his 3-month milestone in office to respond to demands from the public to openly condemn the actions of the vigilante groups within his party.
So we're leaving here in very high spirits. We know the difficulties that have emerged with the events in Kumasi, but we believe that those events are systematically being brought under control in the way that they should be. And reassuring the nation that the commitment that we made, that we're going to serve Ghana under conditions of the rule of law. We're not wavering in that commitment. And we believe that the overwhelming majority of the Ghanaian people support us in that commitment. So I want to thank you very much for taking the effort and the trouble to climb this long hill, come and meet with me here. I believe these retreats are going to be a normal and regular feature of my government, because collectively we are determined to deliver. We want the Ghanaian people to know that all those things that we said we were going to do, which we have begun to do, we are determined to do.
President Akufo-Addo there. Well, his comments may have been timely, but this morning the United Nations waded into the ongoing discussion, expressing worry about the growing vigilantism. More on that soon, but President Akufo-Addo's spokesperson, who doubles as the Information Minister, Mustafa Hamid, appeared on Joy FM Super Morning Show to give further clarity on the president's position on the groups. First, he says the groups will not be disbanded.
The president himself will be infringing on the rights of other citizens if he was to say that people cannot congregate. He can only say that people cannot congregate for purposes of wrongdoing. Are you following me?
Yeah.
But people can congregate. People are free to form groups and so on.
So the groups will remain?
Well, if they want to remain, as I'm saying, I doubt that. Well, that's my view. I'm not a lawyer. But I doubt that somebody can issue a fiat in this country that says that people cannot associate. I doubt that. That once that is a fundamental constitutional guarantee. I doubt
even they
that
are
anybody
proved to have associated for criminal purposes.
Exactly. So that's the point I'm making to you. That the president has said, and that is what he repeated yesterday, that he will not tolerate groups congregating for the purposes of infringing on other people's rights.
Okay, fair
and
enough.
I'm saying that hopefully the fact that these people are in custody and the law is taking its course, okay, would deter other members of the groups from doing similar things. For example, let me go back to the lawyer ladies. You know, these lawyer ladies, they can also agree to meet and perhaps go on a certain rampage and destroy a few things. When they do, they would also become the focus of national conversation. And we would begin to say, oh, lawyer ladies should be disbanded. But now nobody is saying that lawyer ladies should be disbanded because they haven't infringed on anybody's right. And so that's why I'm saying to you that congregating and forming a group and naming it per se is not wrong. It's the purpose for which or to which you apply the group. That's what is wrong. And to the extent that Delta forces have applied their right to congregate and name themselves wrongly, we are clamping down on that aspect of their activities.
Okay.
But their right to remain a group and name themselves, really, if the president was to say that they have no right to exist as a group, I would believe that if they were to go to court to assert their fundamental constitutional right, that every lawyer would agree with them or judge would agree with them that they have a right to congregate and associate.
Mustafa Hamid speaks for President Akufo-Addo. So whilst refusing to touch the group, the security coordinator for Ashanti region, whose appointment has triggered all of these, will also remain at post despite the rejection by some aggrieved party supporters.
No, the president hasn't. I haven't had that conversation with the president, but I doubt that anything is going to change, because I mean precisely because of the conversation we are having. That if because of this the president was to retreat on that appointment, that will give vent to the action that the Delta forces took, and I think that to spite them, I think that appointment would stand.
Right. So the plan is to spite this group, not to appease them.
No, of course not. Of course not. I mean, we cannot be in the business of appeasing people to the detriment of our democratic arrangements. I don't think that this president is prepared at all to cede any ground on that matter. And yesterday at Pediasi, he made it very clear to the media that he's not prepared to back down on his mandate to defend and protect the constitution of our land.
So
Mustafa Hamid also responded to demands by the opposition NDC for the arrest of Asin Central MP Kennedy Japan, who is alleged to be instigating the group.
If Kennedy Japan and Wuntumi believe that the Delta forces, if you want, rendered certain services to the party and therefore do not deserve to be put in jail, that's their opinion. The only thing that I can say to that is that perhaps they haven't averred their minds to the fact that it is not the party that is taking them through the process of law. It is the state. Right. You know, so they are talking purely as party operatives. Right now, I'm a state operator. And the oath that I swore in becoming minister is to defend the constitution.
Right.
I am not too sure if Wontumi has made any such, has taken any such oath. And therefore, I think that we should grant him his right to express his view.
Mustafa Hamid speaks for President Akufo-Addo. Dr. Odrosai is a governance expert and he will join us shortly for analysis on that story. But whilst we wait for him, let's move on with some other stories now. An Accra High Court has dismissed an application filed by the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission to join the suit involving some 40 former members of Parliament who have sued the Attorney General and the Ministry of Finance over pensions owed them. The MPs who served under the Kufuor administration claim they are entitled to about 230,000 cedis. Ruling on the matter, the judge, Gifty Ditchim, said the Commission's act disallowed it from doubling in matters of Article 71 office holders. Former Member of Parliament for Bolgatanga, David Apasera, is one of the MPs in court.
We are grateful to the court. We are grateful because we know that they are not supposed to be part of it. They are simply trying to flout the law that establishes them. Because the law that establishes them says they are to implement public service emolument, except Article 71 office holders. And this one concerns Article 71 office holders. So they have no locus. They have no locus. They've only succeeded in wasting our time. But we are happy that the judge has thrown them out.
For the matter itself, for those who may be doing the listening, they may be reviewed. That's why are former MPs so much interested in taking such amounts from the states?
I don't know what they are talking about. The thing is, you are entitled to pension. And the pension every month is a meager amount of 2,000 something. For a former member of Parliament who has devoted his life to serve the nation so selflessly for 80 years for more, and then he comes out and you say he shouldn't. In some of the countries, the former members take 40% of a certain MP's salary as pension. Others take 60%. And ours was only 20%, which is modest. Modest for only 20 years. After 20 years, you're no longer entitled. So when people think that we are taking too much, I don't believe so. I don't think that is right.
So it's an amount that is supposed to be paid once or periodically, just to be clear on that.
A pension, monthly pension, but it should have started from 2009.
And so far you haven't received anything?
So far we haven't received. So when you calculate all that we should have been taking every month, it adds up to what we are talking about now. That is the state of affairs.
Well, away from that story, residents of a fishing community called Ekbu near Halfasini in the Western region say about 100 police officers stormed the town this morning to, quote, harass them. The raid, according to the eyewitnesses, could be linked to an earlier attack on a police station in the area by the youth following the death of a young man who was in police custody after being arrested for alleged theft. Let's get more on this from the Member of Parliament for the area, Paul Essien, who joins me over the telephone line. Hello, sir. Thank you very much for your time here on The Pulse. It appears I've lost Paul Essien there. We'll try and raise him back on the telephone lines now. Just so you know, this is information just coming in that about 100 policemen have stormed a town called Ekbu in Halfasini in the Western region. It is believed that that particular attack is linked to an attack launched on the police officers in the town following an arrest of one of the residents there. We'll try and get in touch with the Member of Parliament for the area who we just lost on the telephone lines right after this break. Please stay.